Sup nerds! If you look at my nerd review videos, you will notice that they are few and far apart. The reason for this is because I like to do everything that the game has to offer and talk about all that in the video. As you can see, all 4 of those games are on my top 5 most played games on my Steam list. And until now, I have just been reviewing games in which I can collect a lot of stuff. That's just who I am. In case you haven't noticed, I do love collecting things, but I also have been a gamer a lot longer than I have been a collector. So there are a lot of games that I enjoy and play often that I haven't really reviewed, so I figured, why not? So today, let's talk about my most played game on Steam right now, PUBG, or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So PUBG is an old game. Definitely not the oldest live service game that is still popular, but definitely the oldest battle royale that is still popular. And it was also the very first game that really made the battle royale genre popular. Because of that, it is very different than the other surviving battle royales. It is currently the purest battle royale experience one can have. No superpowers, no class abilities, no preset loadouts, just you and the guns that you pick up. And I'm not sure that this is why PUBG is so popular, but aside from Fortnite, it is arguably the most popular one. And even Fortnite nowadays, there's so many different modes in it. How many people are actually playing it just for the battle royale? Even amongst my circle of friends, the ones that still play Fortnite are just there for the crazy crossovers from time to time. But PUBG we play daily, almost religiously. And some people may argue that Warzone is more popular, but according to the internet, it is estimated that there are around 350,000 players online at one time across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. But if you look at PUBG here, there's a daily peak of over 600,000 on Steam alone, and it is available on other consoles and Epic Games as well. So, I'd say popularity-wise, there's no contest. So what is it like? Well, this is a 2017 game, so you probably know by now, but on the off chance that you don't, well, let's talk about the basics of the gameplay. First, you choose whether you want to go third person or first person. In third person, there's solo, squad with randoms, and just close squads. In first person, there's duo, squad with randoms, and again, just close squads as well. And depending on the map size, the number of total players in said map can vary, but it's usually 100 players including yourself. An airplane will pass over the map with everyone inside. You will need to check the map to see the trajectory of the plane and decide with your team where you want to go. All of the named places are usually the more popular locations, but of course, some more popular than others. Things to consider when choosing a location is of course whether that location will have enough loot for you and your team, how badly it will be contested, and whether that's something you want or not. The closer you drop from the trajectory of the plane, the more people you might have to fight early on. But the farther away you try to drop, the earlier other people will have guns in their hands compared to you. Speaking of guns, you can equip 3 of them. 2 main ones and a sidearm, and a melee weapon. People will usually try to get something for far range, either a sniper or a DMR, and something for the middle to close range, usually an assault rifle or an SMG. There are also LMGs and shotguns around. For sidearms, there are pistols, revolvers, sawed-off shotguns, and a smoke grenade launcher. There are also different kinds of utility gear that can take different spaces, like EMT gear, tactical bag, and emergency pickup all go on the main gun space. Flare gun and repair kits go on the sidearm slot. Pickaxes go on the melee weapon slot. Aside from those, there are of course helmets level 1, 2, and 3, vests level 1, 2, and 3, and backpacks levels 1, 2, and 3. Of course, there's a bunch of stuff I didn't show. More stuff gets added on and some stuff gets taken out, but there's a lot of stuff now. Not to mention all the consumables like throwables, healing items, and boost items. Speaking of loot, every once in a while you will hear a plane go by. They will usually drop loot crates which have level 3 gear and loot crate weapons, which are arguably better than the normal weapons you find on the ground. You can spot these crates from afar as it starts spewing red smoke when it touches the ground for a short while, making these pretty highly contested. One must also keep an eye out on the blue zone. As the timer goes down, shown by the timer in your minimap, the safe zone starts to close as the blue zone starts to take over. If you are out in the blue zone, you start to take damage, but the more time that passes, the higher the phase, and the higher the phase, the more the damage player takes out in the blue zone. There are also jammer packs which carry as much as level 2 backpacks that can protect you from the blue zone for a specific amount of damage from the blue zone. When your health gets to 0 in solo, you die. But if you are with a team, then you will just be knocked out, allowing your teammates help you to stand up again before the red bar goes down to 0 again. Should that happen, you will die. But your teammates can still get your blue chip from your body and revive you at these glowing towers or with a blue chip transmitter item. You will then be put in a helicopter on the next safe zone for you to jump off. And that's pretty much it. There are several vehicles from cars to gliders and boats and snowmobiles in specific map and mountain bikes too to help you get around. But the bottom line is, whoever is the last team/player standing is the winner. Simple, but also, you never really know which weapons you'll be able to get in that run, nor where the safe zone will close towards, or even if you'll be able to find any vehicles this time around. There are so many factors in this game that could make each run different from the others. And that, for me at least, is what makes this game much more exciting than something less dynamic like Counter-Strike, which practically has no randomized factors aside from the players themselves. And this is coming from someone who has spent over thousands and thousands of hours playing Counter-Strike ever since 1.5 way back when. Not only that, but there's also a casual mode that you can do 3 times a day if you really want to, which is set only to third-person point of view, but inside the game you can press V to go into first person if you really want. And on casual, only about 20 people are actual players, while the rest are bots that can be easily disposed of. There's also ranked matches, which are only for first-person point of view, and you do need to have a plus status in order to play ranked. Those of us who bought the game before it went free to play received this plus status for free, but if you are starting just now, you will have to go and purchase this if you really want to participate in ranked. As you play and win more ranked matches, the more you will go up in ranks, which can reward you at the end of the ranked season with rank-specific parachutes and now weapon skins. There's also a deathmatch mode, which is as the name suggests, but also you can make custom games to play with your friends, not to mention the occasional event-specific modes, like the Fantasy Royale that we had not too long ago. And the Dead by Daylight collab that they had a few years back. And aside from those game modes, there's also a practice quote-quote room where you can spawn in any equipment and weapons to shoot at different targets, or maybe even go 1v1 with a friend to settle once and for all who is better. The character customization is also okay. You are quite limited to the few faces and hairstyles that you get at the beginning, but you can get more from free chests. Not only appearance stuff, but also a heck of a lot of clothings and outfits. That said, most of the things first appear as cash shop items, but eventually make their way to the loot pool of these different chests. The Hunter one can be bought with BP, which is the currency that you get just by playing the game. There are also a few other things that are BP exclusive, which are neat, but for the most part, you'll probably get a lot more from the Hunter's chests. There are also, of course, weapon skins. Some of the weapon skins can be found from bundles that you get from these chests, but a lot of them will now be from the contraband chests, which you can get coupons for using BP. You need 10 coupons to open one chest, and the chances of you getting something good is pretty low. I mean, really low. That said, I have only spent money on battle passes in this game, but we do end up getting G-Coin, the cash currency, from special events once in a while, and you can end up getting some cool skins with those as well. As you can see, I do have quite a few battle stat skins which I made videos for, which are like stat track skins on Counter-Strike. They track your kills, so it is more rare than the normal ones and thus more sought after. There are also the progressive weapons, which are the big rare. They're out there only for a limited time, of course, so that they can mess you up with FOMO. But these weapons can be leveled up with materials that you will most likely not be able to get enough if you are a free player. Both my friend and I are mostly free to play aside from the battle passes like I mentioned before, and in all of these years that we've played, we were able to just get one weapon to level 5. So I get that the devs need to make money, so they do make it so that it will be easier and better if you use real money, but as far as game cosmetics go, the PUBG cosmetics is definitely one of the pricier ones, if you want to buy them for real money. Because like I said, you can get plenty of things just as free to play. It's just that you don't actually get to choose that much, and it's all by luck. That said, though that sorta kinda maybe scratches my collector's itch a tiny tinsy bit, there aren't anything that you can unlock by doing some crazy achievement or anything like that. Most of your stuff will be from the chests, passes, and events, so nothing I get are like part of a set that I can work towards collecting like I normally like to do in other games. So, why do I keep coming back to this? Why do I play it daily? Well, aside from the absolute oxytocin and adrenaline injection that you get from pulling off a clutch last minute to win the game over the 99 other players, and the replayability that this game provides with not only the various different maps, but also the aforementioned randomized factors. Besides all that, and I get that you might think that this is cheesy, but I think it's the moments that we spend with our friends. Yes, we can do that in practically any of the 4 online games I've already shown in my reviews, but how many of them can we get this hectic and still have its calm moments all within just one round of 15 to 25 minutes? Being a Brazilian that grew up with several Americans, I have close friends all over the world, and seeing them in person to hang out just isn't really an option anymore. But in PUBG, we go from talking about our lives while we are holed up in a building waiting for the blue zone to close so that we can decide where to go next, to singing really loudly in the car, to just about losing it when yet another team third parties in our firefight. We scream, we laugh, we joke, and sometimes, often, we celebrate our chicken dinner, which of course symbolizes our great teamwork and friendship. All that in just 20 minutes. And with how things are today, especially as everyone I know are now adults, not everyone has a lot of free time to spend. So organizing things for an hour-long raid, or spending an entire session just crafting things, or grinding the same boss repeatedly isn't really something everyone in the group looks forward to, even if it is what I like to do. So as far as match-based games go, I think that's why PUBG is what I come back to every time. It's definitely not my main game, but I'm still a sucker for collecting things and for progression in my games. But this is still the game I play every day, and honestly, I don't regret it. O cara de carro passando ali.
Tiro lindo da porra.
Delivery.
Okay. Let me get the shipping. Drop the ship. Bro, drop the ship. Give me the ship.
É eu, viado.
Tá.
What the fuck?
Mariana Cross.
All by myself.
Oh no, we gotta go. We're not gonna live forever. Why we gotta die? Sou vampiro doidão.
Essa é boa. Só bebo sangue.
De menstruação.
Puta que pariu. Meu gato pôs um ovo, mas gato
Não pôs ovo, puta que pariu de novo.